Megatron just seems to be a reskin sand table event, and we finally have eyes on an orange Bumblebee, so let's go ahead and talk about that. But first, I'm on my last camping trip of the year, so I'm in the middle of the woods, and I do apologize if there's some background noise. It's a little windy here, and the birds will not leave me alone. But Megatron, the reason I say he's kind of like a reskin sand table event is during certain points of the game, the sand table boss is actually able to take out an entire stack of units in one hit, which is what Megatron's able to do right now. Now, I talked to some of the strongest people on the server, and I did my own tests. I've been able to attack him 6 times so far, since he's only been out for 2 days for our server. And no matter what, he seems to be taking out an entire stack of units in a single hit. Now, because of that, there's no reason to have any survivability components on. So the components I would recommend against Megatron would be how I have my Navy set up. So damage increase, weapon buff, crit damage, crit buff, and hit. Since he's going to take out an entire stack of units in one hit, if you have armor on, or if you have dexterity on, that's just wasted space. Even if you dodge, he seems to be taking out the entire stack of units. So just use your components straight damage. I would also recommend putting skills on your heroes in the same manner. So if they have an exclusive skill that's related to damage, you'll want to equip that. If not, I would use a common and rare march size increase, an attack increase, and a damage increase. So those would be the skills I would recommend. Now, there is 2 heroes that would greatly increase your damage. One in particular. Now, the one that is going to increase your damage the most is going to be Merida. Now, Merida has an exclusive skill where she's basically able to confuse an enemy target, and sometimes they miss their attack, sometimes they attack themselves, but it is still possible for the attack to go through. Now, because this skill is entirely chance-based, using Merida will cause your damage to vary greatly. So, for example, here I used my strongest Navy hero, Akatora, who has 2 perks maxed out for attack, and Merida. And then I used Optimus Prime, who was only level 80, and when I used Optimus, I got 20.7 AA, and that's not because Optimus did some heavy lifting there. It is entirely because the chance of Merida's ability can greatly change the damage. So, for example, I have another report for 10.4 AA where I used Optimus and Merida, and I went back down to 10. So, using Merida causes your damage to go all over the place, but it does give you much more damage. These bottom 3 reports were from yesterday, and this is when I used Akatora and Optimus, and then I also used my regular heroes to see how much damage I can do, and there wasn't a lot of change compared to when I used Merida, where I'm doing well over 100 times the amount of damage just because of her exclusive skill. So even if you don't have her a high level, it's still something that I would consider. However, now, I wanted to go over how to increase your damage against Megatron because that's what the title of the video says, but I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter with the information we have right now. If you go into the achievement rewards, you can see as long as you've done 30 trillion damage, you get all the rewards. And based on the ranking system, there are no visible rewards, and they always show the rewards because it encourages people to spend money, which leads me to believe there's no rewards for the amount of damage you do. So if you've gotten those 3 achievements, damage doesn't matter. Instead, what you need to be doing is attacking with Optimus. So I started attacking with Optimus and Merida so I can have the best of both worlds. But the reason you should attack with Optimus is you get extra rewards, such as this gold chest here. Now, the amount of rewards you get is based on Optimus's star level. So the higher stars, the more rewards you're going to get. So like I said, don't worry about damage too much. Just try to get those rewards. Optimus needs to be in there. Now, moving on to Bumblebee, I gotta say I'm incredibly disappointed, to be honest with you. I finally got my Bumblebee upgraded, and just a tip, if you go to upgrade Bumblebee and it says you need to remove the hero skin, what it's actually saying is remove your hero skills. So you can't upgrade him from purple to orange if you have hero skills on. So take those off real quick and you'll upgrade him no problem. But the reason I'm disappointed is it seems like he still has purple stats. So for example, here I have him level 101, let's just say 100 to be even, and his war and defense add up to about 25,000, which is about what a purple hero does at max stats. So he's slightly better than a purple hero when he gets to max stats, but not by much. Now I have some orange heroes here at level 100, and their stats are adding up to about 35,000. So I gotta say I'm very disappointed by upgrading him to orange because he doesn't seem to have orange stats, which basically means, in my opinion, he's not an orange hero because he just doesn't have the stats. And if you watched my hero spotlight on him about the purple version of him, I assumed if everything stayed the same and he got orange stats, his exclusive skill would do about 45% damage per missile. But with this poor scaling and poor stats that he has, it's 38.9. So it went up about 5% compared to his purple, but it's still not great. The scaling went up a little bit. His purple version scales by 0.07 per 100 war, but this one's 0.08, so it's a little bit better scaling, but since he doesn't have the orange stats, it doesn't really matter. The reason I was so hopeful when he was a purple in his hero spotlight is thinking about him with orange stats and how effective he could be. Now, they did change his crit chance thing, and so for a purple, it only worked on dark forces. As an orange, it works on everything, so his missiles are guaranteed to crit. But without orange hero stats, he's just not worth the combat. I gotta say, I'm disappointed. I think I'm just gonna put gold production on him and sit him in the corner and never use him again. However, I am hopeful that this is a bug. I thought this was a bug, so much so that I actually reported it on Top War's official Discord bug report in the hopes that maybe they just accidentally didn't give him the proper orange stats. So we can stay hopeful for that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, if you find something that does more damage against Megatron that I missed, let me know. I'll make sure to pin your comment. Of course, only been able to attack it 6 times. He's only been out for basically a day and a few hours so far. So this is just all the information I've managed to gather in one spot. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, and as always, have a fantastic day. Now I'm gonna go make s'mores.